let's open a wine bar. And it's kind of a joke. And then it was like The Simpsons, the clouds part. And I saw a hot dog stand. I saw what I thought was a hot dog stand. Like, that's kind of a weird thing to think about. I'm like, well, a wine bar and a hot dog stand. Let's do it.
Hello, I'm Brandon Miller. The city of Omro has beautiful parks, active organizations, and thriving businesses. In partnership with Future Omro, the Omro Area Community Center, and proud sponsorship by Miller Auto, we'd like to welcome you inside Omro. We're at Sol Vino in Omro, Wisconsin, speaking with Drew Hicks. Hi, Drew. Thanks for having us.
Hey, Brandon, thanks for coming in. This is awesome.
Absolutely. So tell us about Drew Hicks.
Oh, man, where do we start? Yeah.
Wherever you want.
There's a lot. As we grow and get older, we go through all sorts of different experiences. But I teach middle school. I've been in education for 17 years. I love it. I love the kids. I love the community. I just love being around just the constant energy, because I think it's partly who I am, too.
Awesome.
And it's great. I play music. Music's been a huge part of my life. I've been all around the world playing bass guitar in bands, and then most recently I started playing guitar, so now I've got my own group called Drew Hicks and Friends, and I'm a guitar player and a singer in that group instead of the bass player, and that's been a real awesome learning experience too. So I'm a father. I've got a couple of boys. I've got a 16-year-old and an 11-year-old, and they're great and thriving, and I try to be creative and just nonstop and positive, and it's led me here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Sol Vino, how'd the name come about?
That's a great question. So I bought this building in March of 21, and I called it, I wanted a new chapter, like a new beginning. So I thought of new light. And so that kind of just didn't quite feel right. So I'm like, well, let's call it Sol. Sol Studio would be cool. So when I had the mural done on the back of the building, up by the sun's part of the word soul. It's pretty cool. And so
Yep.
it was Sol Studio, and this was my music studio for a couple of years. Just like private, I had a couple different groups come in here to record, but for the most part, it was just a private creative space. And in that, I met a lot of great people in the Omro community. I still lived in Appleton at the time. And then when the idea for a wine bar came, we had all sorts of ideas. And the idea that stuck the most was, why not? Why not?
Why not? Sure.
And then hide the little silent G in there. And then I decided to go a different direction. And a friend of mine had the idea of Sol Vino. And I thought, that's a great idea. Soul, keep the soul train running. No pun intended, I guess.
Yep.
But so it made sense. Sun, wine, those are, two words that are in different languages, but are commonly known.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
plus it just sounded cool and something different. And I felt that was the right thing for this corner in
Yeah,
Omro. So here
absolutely.
we are.
So when did you start the business?
Would have been September 7th, I think, of 24.
24?
So, or 20, yeah, so we're coming on 2 years.
Wonderful.
Or is it 3? No, it's 2, I think. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a while, so two
Yep,
years, yeah.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, wow, crazy.
Yeah,
Time flies.
absolutely. And did you do wine and hot dogs all at the same time? How did that combination come up?
Okay, so the truth is my good friend Lucy, it was she and her husband, was their wedding day, and June 22nd, and I had just broken my foot. Actually, I had a couple broken toes. I don't even know how it happened, to be honest with you. So I was in this boot, and we do the gig, and unfortunately, the morning of their wedding, they woke up, and their backyard was under inches of water. So that was their reception site and their ceremony site. So they had to scramble to figure out, hey, where are we going to have this wedding in 7 hours,
Wow.
And the community totally, tied together, and they found places for both. So the point is there's a big rainstorm, and we worked our butts off, hauling gear around and playing, because our band played the wedding reception, and we had a ton of fun. We came back here and just exhausted. And our friends Jeremy and Christy, they come in with a case of wine. I'm like, where'd you guys get this? And they're like, oh, the bride's mom gave it to us. I'm like, well, give me one of those, So we finally had a drink now that the night was over, and because it was rainy, and we just wanted to make sure that we got home safe and all the things. So we were finally here. The work was done. So we cracked open a bottle of wine, and just like that, I'm like, I love wine. Let's open a wine bar. And it's kind of a joke. And then it was like The Simpsons, the clouds part. And I saw a hot dog stand. I saw what I thought was a hot dog stand. Like, that's kind of a weird thing to think about. I'm like, well, a wine bar and a hot dog stand. let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was June, and then by September we were open.
Wow.
So,
Wine and hot dogs. That's awesome.
yeah, and it really wasn't to pair them. It was because this main street is so cool, and this corner that we're on is super unique. And I just thought it would be cool to have a hot dog stand on the corner.
For sure.
The wine bar really wasn't anything more than just having a place to socialize.
Yeah.
And a wine license was relatively easy to obtain, and that way. And I've never had any bar management experience before. I mean, I've been in and out of clubs my whole life playing music, but that's different, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, when I opened the doors here, I'm like, let's keep it simple with wine. And I'm so glad we did, because it really kind of eased us into the game instead of just everything all at once,
Sure.
which we could have handled, but that's not what we were, you know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't know what we were going to be, and still don't. You know, the
Yeah.
city was like, do you have a plan? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
You know, I can tell you that we're going to be what we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that takes time, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And it's been super successful. I mean, we have like a code of 3 things that we want to happen every night: new faces, familiar faces, and smiles. You know,
Awesome.
every night we're open, almost we check all 3 of those boxes.
That's great. Yeah.
And so I kind of maybe digressed from the original question, but yeah. So the hot dog stand and the wine combination was never the original idea. It was to just have them both be at the same, in the proximity, because I could manage both. You
Sure.
know, and have an element of efficiency. But I got to tell you, Brandon, of all the things I've done in my entire life, like whether I was a associate principal for a while at school, you know, going through my master's program, I've been all over the world playing music. I've done lots of super, really cool things, and very thankful for them, for those opportunities. But that hot dog stand ranks right up there with all the others.
Yeah.
Because of the conversations you have with the people, like it's not just about slinging hot dogs. You know,
Yeah.
it's about the moment.
It's about creating experiences.
Yeah, it really is.
Absolutely.
And I never thought I'd ever say that. I never thought I'd own a wine bar or a hot dog stand. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
But it's unfolded, and it's been a ton of work, and there's been costs. You know, like sacrifices and stuff. But there's a movie. What is it? They Will Be Soldiers, I think, with Mel Gibson.
Okay. Yep.
And one of the soldiers talking to Mel Gibson, and he goes, "How do you do it? How do you juggle being in the military and being a family man?" You know, and his answer was something that I'll always take with me. He's like, "I just hope that being good at one makes me better at the other."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think that kind of holds true with my experiences in this. It's like I didn't really have any aspirations to be a bar owner, to have the stand or whatever. I just wanted whatever I was doing to help me be better at the other thing, and whatever else happens.
Yeah. You got a wonderful, cozy atmosphere. I mean, we've been in here a few different times, and you know, it's just very welcoming. Very, very welcoming.
I appreciate that, and that's that was the goal from the beginning. Is that you know, there's a little dinosaur there that it was a paper towel rack. It's kind of in the corner of that TV, and he didn't really have any other place, so we had to drill a hole through the wood so he could fit. And I think that just
awesome.
kind of goes. It was kind of a joke around here, but like there's a place for everybody.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
absolutely.
So, sounds like a silly little metaphor, but it's true. I mean, this world is wild and crazy, and we're all in it together.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Absolutely.
it means a lot of different things.
So how many different hot dogs? I mean, do you have different varieties of hot dogs? And
Yeah.
what's your menu look like?
So we, again, not going into this with a whole lot of experience. A lot of it's been trial and error.
Sure.
So we've tried a lot of different things. And once I met Rob Moore across the street, man, that guy knows so much about different food brands and different histories of different styles. So he's been we joke around and call him the Sol Vino daddy, because like whenever we have a question, we go ask him.
That's
you know?
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
our relationship with him has just been super precious, and very, very thankful for it. But to answer your question, we tried all sorts of different things, and I've found a couple products that we really, really like. And I just found a new smoked sausage at a local vendor in Appleton and Menasha, Nemus Market. They have a great selection of products and awesome quality. So
Nice.
I've been getting our smoked sausage from there from time to time. So yeah, just a couple of different places, you know, trying new things out. We've had a number of people give us suggestions, and we go check it out. And yeah, so the hot dog menu is right now we're currently using an all beef frank. We have a 1/4 pound hot dog and then an 1/8 pound hot dog that we use. The Polish sausage, and then a frozen Johnsonville broth that we use, and we really like using those. people have been very responsive towards it. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I got to ask, is the Allen dog still on the menu?
The Allen dog, oh my gosh, absolutely. So, great story. Do you know Allen?
Allen works for us.
He does.
He's our service writer.
I did not know that. What a
Yep.
nice kid.
Yeah.
Like, he really is a good dude.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, you know, because he works for you. But yeah, so the funny thing is he came in one day, a young kid. He was probably 18 or 19 at the time. He's probably not much older than that now, right?
He said 20, I believe. Yep.
Okay, yeah. And so he's like, he bought a couple of hot dogs. He's like, you know what? Keep the change. And I'm like, oh, you know, he gave us a 20 or something for a $5 hot dog. I'm like, no, let me get it back to you, you know. He's like, how about this? How about just buy the next people's hot dog for me or for you or whatever? And I go, are you serious? I go, that's a really cool idea. Awesome. In fact, Alan, I'm gonna call it the Allen dog. So yeah, on the menu on the outside we have it, so the Allen dog, and there's a little description with a little bit of a write up on what happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, so people still will buy Allen dogs, which is just a mystery, like a invisible hot dog for the next person. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
The thought of continually giving and thinking of others.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Passing it along. Absolutely.
And what's wild is the generosity of in the communities too. Like people will be like, "Oh, that's so cool," and then they'll buy two for the next person. So it's like next thing you know, we've got like 5 free hot dogs that no one wants to claim because they want to just keep adding on to give it to the next person. So
Yeah.
so that's been a fun little trend. And the other fun trend is at the end of the night, whenever there was like leftover inventory, instead of getting rid of it, and there's not really a place where you can drop off 7 hot dogs,
Sure.
where someone can eat them right away. So we would just wrap them up and we put them in our pockets and we walk over the lanes. And then it ended up being pocket dogs. So we'd walk in and give people pocket dogs. So that was the other little.
That's awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's one of the things that I really love about the Omro community, and Omro really gets it, is we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And while you may have a food and wine establishment and Fox Lanes and Moore's Den, and everybody has, we're creating a destination for people to come to.
Yeah.
And it's a different experience, and it's a different, one night they might come here, next, or they might go to all 3 of them or all 4 of them in the same night, and just you're creating a community. And
Yeah, I agree with that. That people are very receptive and open to it. And when outsiders come in, because like I said, I'm from Appleton. This is where I was at the previous 20 years. So when I moved here and opened the place, I opened the place here, but then moved here. But so I have a lot of friends that come in. A lot of traffic from outside of the community that pops in here, and they see that this place. Like, if you want to order from Tanner's, you want to order from the Lanes or the Den, and bring it here. We support all of that.
yeah,
And they're like, really? It seemed like kind of like a culture shock. It's like, it's not just about us. It's
Yeah.
about the main street. It's about the experience.
Absolutely.
Whatever you want to do, go get it. And if you want to do it here, cool.
Yep.
And if you don't want to do it here tonight, you want to do it here some other night, that's great too.
yeah. And there's a lot of cross posting that happens on social media between all of you, which is it's just great to see. I mean,
Yeah.
again, we're a community. We're all in it together, and yeah, we support each other.
Yeah, it's nice to see that that's recognized, the cross-posting aspect, because it's not really done to draw attention to anything other than the fact that someone else has something cool going on.
Yeah.
And then it's nice to see when people do that, and I think that that's not a trend that has slowed down around here. I don't think.
Yeah, for sure.
So, especially with you guys doing what you're doing, going around all the different businesses. I mean, there's no direct incentive. There's not a reward there's not it's not a selfish thing is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
It's very
the
selfless.
goal is to make Omro better, and promote Omro and let people know that maybe aren't familiar with Omro what they're missing.
Yeah, that's a super good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're missing a lot because
Yeah.
we got a lot of cool things, especially now with all this construction stuff going on. Like, people are really kind of going out of their way to tie things together.
Yeah,
So the more of that, the better. Because it's going to be a long summer, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to, some people are going to complain because it affects them in all sorts of ways, and that's real, right?
Yep.
But so is our survival and getting through it, and I just know it's going to be so nice when it's done.
yeah, absolutely.
Because it's done, but it's going to look so great. There's going to be a lot of good things.
And I'm hopeful that, optimistic maybe even, that we'll get to, August, September, it'll all be done, and we'll look back on it and say, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing too is in Appleton, I forget how many years ago, it might have even been 20 years already now, College Avenue was shut down for a while, and that's a big road, right? A lot of traffic went through there, and I think maybe it was a little longer because I think I may have just turned 21. I think I was bartending down there, and it was one of those things where when they had the cruise of the avenue, like obviously it didn't happen quite the same way, but there were some cool opportunities that happened because the roads were closed.
Sure.
Business could do some different things, obviously with city permitting it, it wasn't a free for all, but with some organization, I mean, maybe have and I'm sure that the chamber's talking about these things right now, different ways they can take this thing that could be a bummer and make it a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good incentive to get creative.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And work together. For sure.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
a really good point. You're right.
Yep.
And that's a really good point too. Is just having a team, right? Like one thing that when Hannah introduced herself yesterday, I didn't know who all was behind the magic of your program.
Yeah.
And she had told me a little bit. She's doing the editing, and it just kind of made my heart smile for a lot of reasons. Family, right? I mean, that's another reason why I decided to turn this place into a business, with the hope that when my kids get older, if they want to work here in the summers and do their thing, I mean, what a cool opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
But it's neat to see families doing things together in all sorts of different ways, and having that positive communication and just the flow of the creativity. I mean, like we were talking when you were setting up, how going into different places is new, setting up all the gear and figuring it out. But I mean, that's what you do all day. You problem solve,
absolutely.
and you figure it out. And so far things are going really well. And so it's really nice to see you guys make it happen.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean it from my heart. Like I couldn't do any of this without the team that I have beside me. I mean, gosh, my cousins were part of the initial process of opening everything up. A whole just swarm of great friends. I mean, we talked about some of our mutual friends, and Jess, who bartends here. I mean, she does so much more than bartend. I mean, she's part of the package.
Part of the family.
Yeah, and my stepdad and my mom. I mean, it's a real special experience. In fact, I was talking with some people not that long ago about how I've seen my mom and my stepdad so much more in these last 2 years than I had in probably the 10, 12 years prior.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that has to do with raising the kids and being busy and stuff and living in different towns, but the laughs that we have, and just the time together it's really special.
Yeah, for sure. It is, very special working with family, that's for sure. And, prior to us starting our business, I worked 12, 14 hours a day without working with them. I still work 12, 14 hours a day, but I'm with them.
Totally different, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's
cool.
the
American dream, really.
It really is. It really is.
And I think that's another thing that Omro really offers is, I mean, this little tiny place, I had never spent too much time here at all other than passing through, years ago. And when my mom and stepdad relocated to this area and I started coming here, I'm like, this is an awesome little spot. And then I started getting more involved. I'm on the board of the community center. Shout out community center for sure. What a great place and a great thing that it's been for the community, and the leaps and bounds they've taken in the last year and a half from moving from one location to the other, and just the incredible board members. And it's a real special, just everybody there. I'm just very super proud and humbled to be a part of that. And
absolutely.
So it's part of the community is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. We're actually doing a podcast with them next week.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for the Rhubarb Festival.
Yeah,
and,
that's coming up.
Everything that's going on there. So.
Yeah, that Rhubarb Festival last year was just a blast, and I had bought in like 10 pies because I was thinking, okay, well, I'll put in for 10. That way, that way they don't have leftovers, and I figured I'd just bring them down here and peddle them or eat them or whatever.
Sure.
And our band got there, and we were playing outside in the little front area, and one of the board members, she goes, Drew, are you going to eat all those pies? And I go, no. So they ended up selling them, is my point,
Oh, sure.
And it was great because we had them. I mean, I didn't have custody of them yet. Otherwise, they would have gotten maybe 8 of them.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. But it was successful. And the Reds, Piggly Wiggly, Spencer down there is super generous with allowing Jody, one of the ladies, to just take care of business and utilize certain aspects to just keep the ball moving and make it all happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll be a fun weekend for sure. Good luck next week. They're fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good time for sure. So what are your You're open Thursday through Sunday.
Well, summertime Sunday will be open, yeah. Right now, through the school year yet, for a couple more weeks, at least the Appleton school year. So until I'm freed up a little bit, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We were running Sundays, but I just needed a day off.
Yeah, for sure.
I was burning it. Fumes were running low, so I just decided, there were some other areas I could have cut it, but I'm like, you know what, if I can reduce down to 3 days, I can still make everything else work. And that's an important point too, is just we can only do so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Regardless of the team and the goals and the plan, you just need to take care of yourself. And
so yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. Was that a scheduled open day, or was that a spur of the moment?
Great question. That was a spur of the moment a week before.
Okay.
So we decided, like, hey, let's do a Cinco de Mayo party. It'd be kind of cool. I don't know if anyone was doing one. Looked around, didn't see a whole lot. I'm like, well, that'd be fun. Let's try it. And we just had purchased this warming buffet table. So it was kind of the maiden voyage of that, because anytime you try something new, there's a new footprint, there's a new process. And there was some logistical thinking that went into it, and we learned some lessons. Like, you got to make sure the water on the boiling table is warm a lot earlier than when we were, but, we got there for sure. And we had a super successful night. The people were smiling, having a good time. I brought in one of my good friends, Roster Ryan. He plays in the band Illuminati out of Green Bay area.
Okay.
So he came in and played acoustic guitar, and he and I have been just super close since middle school. So now that I have this place, it's nice because I can bring in some of my friends to play music who I haven't, we used to play music together, but when you're gigging and doing all these things, you're in different towns and you're raising your kids, and going out to see a band doesn't always fit into your schedule,
For sure.
You can always make it, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
It's tough. So since this place has been here, I've been able to bring in a variety of old friends and give them work, but more, I think it's just nice to see them again and share in the evening or the night, whatever.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be able to play guitar, and I've tried so many times, and I'm just not wired for it. I mean, I can play a little bit, but I'll never be.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say I'll never. If I sat down and I just focused on it, I probably could. But I've always envied people that just are gifted in
Sure.
that.
I can appreciate that. There's 500 things where I feel the same way.
For sure.
But the point is that you love it. There's
Yeah.
something draws you to it. So when the time's right, who knows? Maybe we'll get a little jam session going.
Yeah.
Totally open to that.
Yeah.
Ukulele is a great place to start. 4 strings, less.
My problem is I don't have any rhythm.
Oh yeah. Well, see how good Hannah is at editing.
Right.
we can edit the
Yep.
take a 5-beat measure, put it into 4.
Right.
That's funny. But yeah, that's cool. That's good.
So what kind of, you frequently have entertainment. What kind of genres, blues and?
Yeah, so, it sounds cliche, but a little bit of everything. When we first started out, I had a mini grand piano up there.
Okay.
So that was really cool. So I could just bring in pianists, and they could do their shtick, and then they just walk in and they walk out, very little
Sure.
gear. And then I've had, because of the size of the place, I've kind of kept it to solos and duos.
Sure.
Our group, Drew Hicks and Friends, will rehearse here a couple times a month. A couple Thursdays, like we're rehearsing tomorrow night here from 6 to 8. And it's open to the public, and we serve dinner too.
Awesome.
And you might sit here and you might hear the same song for 30 minutes.
Oh, sure. Because you're practicing.
Rehearsing it,
yeah, for sure.
But it's kind of interesting to reveal the process. And sometimes the band just stops and we talk through a part and we sing, and sometimes it's really bad because we're trying to find the parts,
Sure.
But it's, like dumping all the Legos out, Just got to try to look at the pieces to build what's next.
The magic behind it.
Yeah, and that's been a lot of fun. And with that group, everything from Otis Redding to the Temptations to Chris Stapleton to, it's really kind of all over, to Weezer. It's all over the map.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really. So
yeah,
it's good because it's just, variety is important, right? And I love all sorts of music, but I have a hard time listening to anybody for more than an hour.
Sure.
Especially myself, So it's nice for us to mix it up. And a good friend of ours, Lucy Rose, the girl who had the wedding
sure.
on the 22nd, she has now joined the band. She does her own solo work too, but having her voice in the band has been real special because she's incredible. But it's also just nice for for us to blend our voices, and it gives it's a new color on the palate,
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome. What's your best-selling wine?
that's a great question. I can be completely honest with you. In the beginning, it was a wine called Bricco. It's an Asti. It's a I can't think of the word right now. Moscato is what it
Okay.
is. So it's a sweeter wine. And we got to be careful in how you ask the question. So what's our best-selling wine? Well, the wine that we had to purchase the most was that Moscato because we kept drinking it.
Sure.
I'm like, how am I going through 3 cases of this? Where is it? And then I'm like, oh yeah, it's because that's what we're drinking,
Yep.
And we were having a lot of fun in the beginning, and we still do. But it's when when our distributor came, because I didn't know a whole lot about wine, and I had to test all these wines, and I tested like 25 wines in an afternoon. I mean, there's a lot of just sipping and, but it was one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, But, I mean, we've really, and this is so cool. Some of the people that came here in the beginning, they weren't wine drinkers at all. And now that we have beer, they've switched to, they will come in and drink beer. But it kind of dawned on us after we got the beer. I'm like, you know what? How cool is that? They were coming here drinking wine because they just wanted to hang out, even though they weren't really into the wine thing. But they have grown in terms of their knowledge of what they like and what they don't like. So
Sure.
they don't always come in and get the same thing. They mix it up too. And I don't know, it's kind of a humbling thing where it's like this is a choice they wouldn't normally make, but because of the vibe and the atmosphere.
The atmosphere and everything. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not a super, I don't drink often. And my wife and I kind of dabbled in wines a little bit for a while, just kind of experimenting, seeing what we liked and what we didn't like. And for the person just starting to get into wines, it takes a little bit of time to find what you like.
Oh, totally. Yeah, sometimes you get lucky, but that's a super good statement. I mean, that's super true. There's a lot, and there's a lot out there too.
They're not wrong when they say it's an acquired taste. You have to teach yourself, kind of. And my nose doesn't work as well, so smelling the different notes and all of that good stuff is
well. From a budget perspective, that might be a good thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take the lower costing one. Yeah.
Sure.
And with all the different regions where all the grapes, there are temperature different variances in terms of how you store it. I mean, what I don't know in this field is enormous.
Sure.
But we keep learning and we keep figuring it out. But I think the sweeter wines tend to go the most here because I think that's just the easy one on the palate.
Sure.
For someone that maybe doesn't know what they want, but we've got probably 24 kinds of wine, so we have a variety, something for everybody.
Yeah.
As long as you're 21, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or with a parent.
Or with a parent, yeah. Or just, but I mean, and then we got these slushy machines, so we've been experimenting with that, with wine slushies and non-alcoholic options too. I mean, that's the slushy machines are great. In fact, my son was here last night, and he made like a squirt and Mountain Dew and cranberry juice slushy. And I'm like, how's that going to work? And it was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Experimenting. Yeah. You don't know. And some of the best inventions are mistakes.
oh yeah, totally. Yeah, without a doubt. One other thing I want to share real quick while we're talking about just the culture of the people is there's a gentleman that comes in here from time to time, and when we opened, he was a big supporter. He was helping, telling people, and it was cool. In fact, we even have a Butch bar up there in case he gets a little hangry. We can send him to get his little candy bar. But he said something really, really cool. He's like, he's been in the town for a long time, and he said sometimes he'll come here just to see who in town is out because it's just a different atmosphere, So he said sometimes I'll come here to see if I see anybody that I haven't seen in a long time. And I just thought that was a really interesting perspective because on this little drag, there's a couple of places, and the places that are here are great, but now there's a third.
Yeah.
And there's a fourth. Well, I mean, Omega is great, too.
Yeah.
So we definitely can't exclude them. Oh man, great beer there for sure. Steve does an awesome job. But so when Butch was making those comments about, he just comes here to see kind of who else is coming in, because I just thought that was kind of a cool thing as a perspective I wouldn't have had.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, that's kind of another staple for the social, atmosphere of it. And, it's a lot of meeting new people, and
there is a lot of that, and it's tough to remember all the names, and you get them sometimes and you don't, but you remember the face and the handshake, and
Yeah.
I tell you, like there have been a lot of really cool relationships that I've seen happen here,
For sure.
build and grow. And Jess has been a help in all of the projects that we've done. But then when she needed a hand, oh my goodness, everyone came out of the woodwork to help her with taking care of some of her needs at her new place. And just yeah, the friendships, the relation, it's just been really, really cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's nice when you can build something like
Yeah.
that.
And I have to, sometimes I forget that I did it. You know what I mean? Because I don't mean that in any ego way, but it wouldn't have happened unless I started making
Yeah.
some of these steps. But I just get so lost in the fact that it's a us thing that everyone's just doing this. I'm like, oh gosh, I got to take care of that because I'm responsible for it. you know?
Right.
But that's a real good problem to have.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, like we're building something cool, and the neat thing is we're not in a hurry.
Sure.
We're not trying to prove a point. We're not trying to be something we don't want to be, which is why we don't have full liquor license or gambling. That's just, I mean, nothing against any of those things. It's just
Yeah.
not what I want to feel in this place,
Yeah, for
in
sure.
this particular spot. So there's a lot of opportunity lost with that, because those are important parts of revenue generators for
Sure.
bars. And they're cool for the community when people win. I love
Yeah.
seeing that, I just didn't want that to be a focus here.
Sure.
Like I said, nothing against that one. I'll put $20 on the machine too and have a good time. But like, it's just one of those things. I just want this to be more of a. In fact, I don't even put sports on because I just nothing against sports. I love the teams, but very rarely will I put anything on the TV for that reason. Like, because
Let's talk to each other and not watch TV.
yeah, people just the vibe is different.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they want to watch TV, cool. But the vibe is different. And I had it at one time, and there's a Packer game on, and it was just so tense. And it was the same people that we always hang out with, but it was just like, ooh, I don't think I'm going to do this again.
Sure.
Or I'll just play reruns of like Packer victories.
All right, right. Yep.
From like 1983 or whatever. I don't know. But we were joking about that. But it just, it's just a different atmosphere. And we try to just do what we feel is,
Works. Feels right.
Yeah, it feels right.
Yeah. You kind of entered this and didn't really have a plan. Do you have any goals? Or
Yeah, great question. To continue to listen, you're on the ground type thing, figure out what makes sense, what doesn't. With all of the moving around of the parts with traffic and with the community, with the farmers market, that's now going to be behind our building in the parking lot behind by the old Dollar General here. So we're really excited to come up with different ways to participate in that. I just bought this really cool, it's like a waffle maker. You know,
Okay.
like when you go in the hotels and you can make the waffles?
Yeah, absolutely.
Only it shapes them kind of like corn dogs. And
Okay.
so we're going to call them Omro pups. And there's just a waffle-based treat with a topping or a filling that we would put on it. And we're going to have a little waffle pup bar so they can buy them outside, and hopefully they'll follow the little paw prints in. The kids can just doctor those things up any way they want.
Oh, awesome.
So to answer your question, like what's the vision, is to keep listening and keep adapting, because that's how you grow,
Yeah.
right? I mean, unless I knew it all, then I could just open the book and say, okay, today we're going to do, page 47, line 17. Let's do that. But
Right.
it doesn't work that way,
Yep. Yeah, as we're having this conversation and, trying things, listening, so forth, I keep going back to our first podcast with Dauntless.
Okay.
And when I was sitting there, the whole time I was looking at a picture on their wall that says, "Be brave enough to try."
Yeah, amen.
And that I don't know, it's just stuck with me ever since, because it does. It takes bravery, and it takes,
Yeah, and the more established, there's like there's a honeymoon period, kind of like no matter what you do, everything's gonna be fine because everyone wants things to go. But then you got to tough it out,
yeah,
called winter, right?
yeah, for
And
sure.
then you get through that first winter, and you keep growing, and all of a sudden, then it becomes okay. Well, how big of a risk am I willing to take? What makes sense? Because there's a financial part of it too.
Yeah,
And it'd be great to just do everything all at once, all brand new, shiny, but it's not who we are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wonderful when you see it and you see, I just mean, assume a positive intent is what I'm getting at. But,
Yeah.
You just, there's something to be said for growing as you go,
yeah,
and being brave is definitely part of that ingredient
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you don't want to. You can outgrow yourself also.
Sure.
You can grow too much to where you can't. You're not doing a service to the customer as well as what you would like to. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, I saw a sign. I was in Oshkosh the other day, and I can't remember the name of the business, but one of the things on their marquee, they said fully staffed. And I thought, why would they put? I'm like, oh, that's why they put that on there, because that's a thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's really tough to offer an element of service and be consistent with it and make everybody happy and you proud of what you're giving,
Yeah.
you know, and offering. And that's why we don't have a huge menu, honestly, because we're trying to figure out what works for us and what works for the community. And we have, you know, inside the restaurant here, we might have 5 or 6 things, you
Sure.
know, but we feel really good about those 5 or 6 things,
Yeah.
and we can offer them, you know, consistently.
Yeah.
And if we were at the point where we had 5 staff members and when had a full kitchen, had a head chef, it would be totally different. But that's not where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's where we'll go. We might, you know.
Sure.
But let's just take it where we're at right now.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
I mean, not being compliant and not being you know, content with just what is. I mean, we're always looking to try to, you know, what makes sense to keep moving.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
You know, one of my favorite things is I've been probably for the last 3 months, 4 months, paying attention to your social media more. And I love the recaps that you do after the weekend.
Yeah, they're usually done late at night while I'm sitting in bed, just being thankful. You know,
Yeah.
like and I kind of write in code
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, and just kind of dabble around. And it doesn't happen on purpose, but it happens on purpose because it's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and I just couldn't be. I wish I could do more of it, and but at the same time, I also when I do it, I try to make. You can tell when there's a little bit more thought, and intent, and heart into it
Yep.
that other than just information. You know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
In fact, today I was making the actual menu. As I was typing it up, I'm like, okay, how am I going to word this? And I ended up I was on lunch break, and I just sitting in my car typing it up, and I just had a ton of fun with it. And it actually turned out pretty comical. I'm like, you know what? I could see this just being something people read, you know,
Yeah.
like or enjoy while they're ordering their food. They'll kind of chuckle, and I kind of wrote it that way on purpose,
Yeah.
you know. But I appreciate that.
When I read it, I don't remember if it was this last weekend or the weekend before you did, it made me think, wow, what did I miss?
Yeah,
You know?
right, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because so much happens.
Yeah.
Whether we want it to or not, there's all these I mean, when you're in the business of people, and I can say this from being in the schools, I mean, super great things happen, super sad things happen,
Sure.
especially with what we're dealing with right now in the Omro community.
Absolutely.
I mean, the heart can only, there's just a lot, right?
Yeah.
But that's people, that's life, that's society and culture, you know, and man, and now having this place, yeah, a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
and some we laugh so hard here sometimes. In fact, if you're ever in here, and I invite the guests to take a look, everything on the walls has a story. Nothing is just there to be there.
Yeah.
Everything has a story. For example, that little picture right there, when I first started playing music, I was playing in Wapaka, and that's right outside Simpsons. So that has profound memories because when I bought this place, I started hanging out and seeing some of those same people that I saw 25 years ago, you know?
Yep.
I mean, I mean, we can tell you stories about all the things, but when people say things that just are ridiculous, we usually write it on the wall.
That's
You
awesome.
know, so there's 3698. Who do we appreciate? I think she got it a little wrong, right?
Yep.
So that went on the wall, you know. And I have this. I mean, you're a handyman. You work with your hands, but don't take my advice on this one.
Sure.
So one of the things you'll notice some stickers on the wall. Well, if there's ever a scratch on the wall here, instead of getting out the putty and fixing and repainting it right away, I'll just put a sticker over it for a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So if you see it,
Yeah.
so there's random stickers in different places because of that, and obviously I know that's not the fix, but it gives a little attitude. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It puts a little culture on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And nothing is like square or symmetrical.
Yeah.
Everything is there for a reason. It's not just, oh, I'm going to put this here. It's like, okay, how do I want this to be awkwardly right?
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. Yeah. I remember the first time we were in here, I used the restroom, and your restroom is pretty interesting. Also,
It's entertaining, right?
it is. It's very entertaining. We won't spoil it.
Spoil it. I got you.
Yep. You guys got to come in and see that for yourselves.
Well, okay, so truth time for a moment here. Well, everything's been true, but this is a pretty ridiculous truth. So this used to be an ophthalmology clinic, right? So as I was going through the cabinets of the things when I got it, there was, those vision charts that you put on the wall,
Yep.
like the A's get smaller and whatever. I'm like, well, that'd be a really funny thing to put in the bathroom. Until you realize people go in the bathroom doing this, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's not a good idea.
Right,
so
right.
we took that out of the bathroom right away.
That's too funny.
Yeah, trial and error.
Yep.
You win some, you lose some.
Yep.
So I mean, and the first thing I did when I came in this place is I put Post-it notes everywhere to kind of how I wanted to visualize things, and it was neat to see those Post-it notes kind of come off, because I mean, and not all the time were the things that happened exactly what the Post-it note said,
Sure.
but progress was being made
Yeah.
one way or the other, and the coat rack that's here and the guitar rack. First thing I did was I looked up like a local artisan because I wanted something from someone from the community to make something here first.
How cool.
Yeah, and that Brian has become just a dear friend of ours. Just from that, because of course, if he's a project guy, we're not going to stop there. We're going to do 5 other things,
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just been that way. And even to the barn board of the bar there, that's from Gup's Barn. That was a friend of mine has a barn board restoration business.
Okay.
And so he got the line on that, and I found out the gentleman whose barn that came from, his wife Beverly, came in just to see it. And then next thing you know, their daughters came in, or her daughter came in to see it, and it's just neat to see how different things live on in totally different ways.
Yeah.
I had no idea that that's how that would happen, but I'm super proud of the way it turned out, and even more proud that it's living on and it means something to somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.
That was not the plan, but
Yep.
it was.
Yep. Yeah, repurpose.
Yeah. And there's a lot of just cool culture and history here in the community, and I'm just glad to have my my experiences in some of those pages.
For
Because
sure.
the building's been here way before me and will be here way after me.
Yeah.
So just what are we gonna fill the pages with in
But-
between?
This was built like the 1800s,
18, I think 70,
1870.
somewhere in there. Yeah.
Um,
There was a
That's-
fire or two that happened along the way, so there was some rebuilds. But I think the actual on the historic thing, I think it's built at like 1890, but it was the foundation and stuff was up before that.
Yeah, isn't that something to think that it's been standing that long and
And to see some of the pictures from
Yeah.
back in the day, like how different the roads were, how much lower the road was. I mean,
Yeah.
that window that's up there was 10 feet from the ground, 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And the window didn't move.
Right.
And I mean, it did, but you don't
yeah,
say. Yeah.
for sure.
It's always neat to see those old pictures.
Yeah.
And the historical society, they're redoing some things down there. I think that's, I forget when their opening is, the 16th of May, something like that. So there'll be an opportunity to see a lot of cool pictures down there of the city. I think they're redoing a scoreboard too. It's just neat to see people breathe life back into those old sails.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I was just going to say, and that's what you guys are doing. I mean, you guys are, shuffling the sheets, just breathing new air and new attention to things that are going on. And that just creates momentum. It makes us want to be better. I'm sure it makes all the other businesses want to find a way to continue to improve. And man, we couldn't ask for better neighbors. We're super great friends with the people at the Lanes and Tanners and Omega and obviously the Moores. It's a really cool thing going on down here. And now
It
Deanna
really
has
is.
her resale shop too. So
Yep.
that's just open, and you guys are down the road. So
Yeah, it really is.
we got a good thing
Omro
going.
is just a phenomenal community. It
it's
really
got good
is.
people.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
the
And it's a
res-
beautiful city.
Yeah.
Once the construction is done, it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
Even still.
And it's going to be a pain in lots of ways, but we're going to totally get through it. And we're going to smile, and we'll look back, like you said earlier, and be like, hey, it wasn't so bad. We got
Wasn't
through
so
it.
bad.
Yeah.
For
In
sure.
fact, there's nothing that I've ever experienced in my life like that I look back and that I thought was going to be the end of something or whatever. And like, you always get through it.
Yeah.
We always do. I saw a really cool meme the other day. It said, like, you've gotten through your worst day already.
Yeah.
I mean, you've never not gotten through your worst day. Something along those lines,
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
perspective,
Yep. Keep a positive outlook and
yeah.
power through and
and keep moving.
failure is not an option.
Yeah. Just keep learning. Yeah.
Yep.
Keep doing it.
Yep.
And I'm super happy to be a part of the community and honored and humbled, and it just keeps us wanting to keep going. And I know you feel the same way as being a
Yeah.
business owner here. And Good,
But
good things.
probably one of the best decisions that I ever made
Was opening here in Omro.
yeah. This
Yeah.
community is just phenomenal. Austin and I, my son Austin and I don't know of a community that is as intertwined as what this one is. I mean, it really is.
And when you become responsible for different things, it makes you feel a sense of pride, but also like commitment to keeping that going.
Yeah.
Or being that way in other things. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I can help and make a difference in these other ways. So, sometimes it keeps you up a little bit later doing the extra things because you feel committed to it.
Yeah.
And Austin's great. I liked him the second I met him.
Yeah.
Great smile, just like cool dude. Then I found out that you guys were related, and it all worked out. And yeah, we got a good thing going. So
Yeah, absolutely.
well, I appreciate you coming down and giving us the opportunity to put some words out there and to talk and have a conversation. This is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope everybody comes and experiences Sol Vino.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because I mean, not all at once, because we can't fit you all. But no, it's been real great. And like I said, everybody that is part of the team here would do anything to just make it be a positive experience. And
Yeah, the first time we came in, there's kind of especially in a small town, there's kind of what are we going to walk into going into a new establishment, and the first time we came in here, it was so welcoming. It was so, I mean, there was no, everybody turns around and looks at you at the bar like, who's it? It's just, come on in. Let's,
be a part of it.
Yeah, be a part of it.
I gotta say, we went out to breakfast the other day because breakfast is a hot commodity, right? Around these, it's hard, tough to find.
Yeah.
But a place that I felt that same way just recently, Kelly Teas, Four Corners.
Oh, sure.
I was blown away with just how inviting and welcoming that place was. I didn't really get a chance to talk to anybody specifically other than the server, but we look forward to going back and checking that place out because the vibe was super cool and it just looked like a lot of time and energy was put into it. So
For sure.
shout out to them as well because it's neat to see people taking something and making it work and making it to just live out their vision.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
seemed like a good fit for what's going on down there. So.
Absolutely. Well, I hope everybody that hasn't tried Sol Vino comes down and gives her a shot. And we'll be. I don't want to miss any more of those weekend stories, so I'm going to have to make a point to get over here.
To be a part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
another thing is just I know this podcast and videocast get out a lot further than the Omro community, and just like to anybody else who's hasn't been to the area, just a nice welcoming invite to them. And like we said, that sea loops, that construction word, but it will pass, and you can still get your way around. And
You can get here now. I mean, it's
absolutely. So don't let that stop you.
We're open for business for sure. Awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome.
And thanks, Hannah.
Of course.
Yeah.